welcome to the Courage to Lead Summit. We are so excited you're here. Hi.
Welcome, everyone. Yes, I'm Kaisa. I'm here with Melissa. I'm glad to see you joining. And at least in Finland, we are very punctual. So it's now on top of the hour. So we'll start right away.
Yes, absolutely. Welcome, everyone. Go ahead, Kaisa.
Yes. Before I go into a little intro and tell what's coming up, I would like to hear from you. Where are you from? Here's Riikka Sofia already joining from Italy. So you can type in the chat, where are you from? Because we have a very international global event today. Orange, California, lovely. I'm joining actually from Buenos Aires, Argentina today, myself.
Oh, welcome. I'm in Arizona. I'm in the Phoenix area. So we are all over the place. Welcome. Come on in. Let us know where you're coming from. Oh, we have someone from the UK, someone from San Francisco. Oh, we've got Finland.
Yes,
hello,
Finland, yes.
Someone from
Hi,
Finland.
Mia, welcome to
Columbus,
join.
Ohio, Virginia, amazing. Chicago. Nice. We have people from all over the place.
Good.
Welcome.
I would like to hear from you in the chat, because we have a lot of topics, especially around like 3 areas. We talk about our own well-being, relationships, and career/business today. That what is the area that you really want to focus on today? And not only today, but these days in your life. So we have an idea in the chat. Where are you from? Where are you? And then I invite you to think about like that, having that focus when you're listening this event and the show and the speakers. So you're tuned into your vision, what are your targets at the moment, and then you can also hear those nuggets that you want, because there will be plenty of value and information and strategies coming. So just wanted to tell you that. Okay, I think we are ready to start, and let me just shortly tell a little bit what the event is about. I mean, you've been on our event page and getting an idea. So I want to welcome you to the Courage to Lead Unlocks show, where we share the best proven strategies, how to create freedom, and in many levels, freedom and financial abundance and genuine love in your life, how to have those deep connections with yourself, be intimate with yourself and your inner circle, your family, friends, and also professionally. So we look at many types of relationships as well.
Yes.
I'm your host, Kaisa Siipilehto here. I am originally from Finland, but now traveling around the world, here with my lovely co-host, friend, Melissa Rosales.
Hello.
So let me just do a quick, like, let's say what is happening today. So we have plenty of interviews. You have a short break in between. So I hope that you have now some water, you've been to the restroom and you're ready to rock. You have some note-taking supplies, because we do give you a replay, so you can go back, and those who are our VIP guests get a lifetime access to these interviews, so you can go back to those anytime afterwards. But it's like you remember better when you write things down. So if you're on a computer, maybe you want to type, but if you do have a notebook, I do advise you to have that, because we remember better when we write those notes down.
Yes.
And yeah, like I said, we have a few interviews. We'll have a very short intermission, so you can go grab a little more water or coffee or food or snack in between. And we will be finishing with a recap after all the interviews. So happy to answer any of your questions throughout. The chat is open, so do put us questions, what you'd like to hear from us or the speakers, and especially then in the recap we can have a little more conversation about closing the day. So we'll be on about 6 hours today, más o menos. Let's see how we work with the time here.
Yes.
The topics that we have, we could talk for hours on each topic. So this will be a very short introductions to each topic, and our lovely guest speakers here have also plenty of resources for you. So they have some gift resources. You can go and find more about how they can help you forward. So yes,
Perfect. So
I just want to say that I'm, like I said, from Finland and traveling around the world, and we'll go into that shortly. But when I was introduced to the field of coaching and I met Melissa in the same coaching program we are now at, that I'm happy to have a co-host, because last summer I did Courage to Lead Summit on my own, but I mean, it's just more fun to have a co-host here as well. So do put in the chat either private messages for me and Melissa if you have some questions, and we'll be happy to answer those.
we'll definitely,
But yeah, like I said,
we do have a question.
we do have a question.
Yes, somebody wants to know if we can put the agenda in the chat. I can put the agenda in the chat. We'll let you know that right now our first interview will be Kaisa. We'll go into a little bit of who Kaisa is, what she does, and what her mission is. Next up will be Sophia Casey, and we have CB Bowman Automani. Oh my goodness, I hope that I'm saying her name correctly. Automanelli. And then we have Lindsay Maloney and Jenna Martin before the intermission. So I'll put all of that in the chat so you can reference that. But that was just like a quick little overview of the first few speakers that we have before our little 10-minute intermission in between the morning and the afternoon session, if you will. So we're so grateful and excited that you're here, and we hope that you have a lot of value. And if you're ready, Kaisa, we can get right into it.
Yes, yes.
Okay, wonderful. Well, welcome everyone to the Courage to Lead show. I'm Melissa Rosales, and I'm here with my beautiful friend Kaisa. As you know, yes, we will be putting what they're talking about as well. Yes, as you know, Kaisa and I have been working together on this Courage to Lead Summit to put for you some amazing, wonderful value on the subjects of life, love, financial abundance, and having it all. And so Kaisa here, she is the founder of LIVIO Joy. She has guided hundreds of experts and entrepreneurs from over 20 nationalities to transform their lives. Achievers work with her to be the courageous and loving leader they want to be at home and at work, to be successful on their own terms. Kaisa used to play small and safe, feeling lonely and insecure. And when she was about to lose the man that she loves, she decided to take control of her life and happiness. So Kaisa built the courage to make the needed life changes and left her home county. She studied a new profession and started a coaching business, and later married her love. You are so courageous, Kaisa. I so admire you. Now she has the freedom and flexibility that she values and meaningful way to help others while creating a fulfilling way of life with her husband. This is what success looks like for her, and she is passionate about helping more women leaders like herself put their needs and desires first. So Kaisa, tell us a little bit about how you serve. What inspired you to become a life coach?
Well, this would be a very long story, but actually, why I was inspired to put together this show and why we talk about the topic courage is that I didn't see myself being courageous because I was run by a lot of fears and doubts. And I think there's a lot of misconception around courage, and we have actually CB here to talk about micro courage as well. But I want you all to think about like the courage, how it's not just, it doesn't just come to you, but how you can build it. For me, it was really finding clarity around my mission, my vision, what is important for me, my priorities. And the clarity builds certainty, and the certainty builds confidence to go after that. And so the courage was building inside of me. And why I'm sharing you this is like, I was having, 10-year corporate career in marketing and really enjoying what I was doing earlier in my career. Not maybe thinking like the bigger picture, like the bigger vision, like and what Melissa was saying in the intro, like I used to play it small and safe, is that I didn't even have maybe the courage to think bigger, like think bigger dreams, like outside the box. Because where I grew up in Finland and Helsinki, we are a small country, like around 6 million people. And now I'm in Buenos Aires, and here alone, it's 15 million. So just to give you an understanding.
Yeah.
So for me, when I met my current husband, that kick-started everything, that I was rethinking my priorities, what is important for me. So the life that I had been building, like, okay, secure job and career. I bought my apartment in Helsinki and renovated. I was making a home for myself. I was really just like in my bubble, let's say. And nothing wrong with that. But Luis came and, was putting a little needle on my bubble to think like really outside the box, because he was living in the US at the time and I was in Helsinki. So there's thousands of miles in between. So for us to live together, I needed to make some changes in my life. And this wasn't the only like life changes, like, okay, I just moved to another country. This was pre-COVID and there wasn't remote working options, especially because I was organizing events, which were in-person events mostly, that it meant a lot of changes in my career as well. And all those little things were just like feeling so overwhelming. Just to think like, okay, I was doing marketing. Is this something that I want to continue doing?
Sure.
And this is where what I've seen a lot in my clients as well, that when you do something for a longer time, it's hard to see other options. Like think, like I said, outside the box, because you're used to something. So it was very challenging for me to think about like, what else could it be? And when I was just like, I would have needed life and career coaching, but I didn't even know how to seek for it back then. But when I went to a point that I was having a panic attack on the phone, being with Luis, and I was just like too overwhelmed, stressed. I was feeling lonely, though we were in a relationship, but we had all this distance between us. And I was trying to figure out everything in my head and try to control things, even things that I can't control, like Brexit. how to move to London when they are exiting EU. So I wasn't even sure if I can stay in the country.
Oh my goodness.
So there was like all these things like overwhelming. We have some more topics about overwhelm, so I'm not going to go deeper into that. I just want you to, I don't know, maybe relate to
Uh-oh.
some part of the story, put in the chat, also pushing the Brexit many times. So I was letting other things to rule my life.
Mm-hmm.
I needed, in that moment when I had the panic attack, I was like, no, I get to choose what I want to have in my life and not let others and external factors to dictate that.
For you.
And that was a big turning point for me.
Sure.
And then I sought for a help. I started to talk to my friends who are especially entrepreneur friends. And that's how I found the field of coaching. This is a very long answer to your question. But I just wanted you to think like, okay, if you're thinking a transition yourself, for example, whether it is inside the industry or even some of my clients want to pivot to a new field that they've noticed like, oh, this is not actually aligned with what I want in terms of personal professional development, or they've noticed like, okay, some other things interest, because we grow, and so your desires might change, what you want in your professional life can also change.
Yeah.
So there was like a million options. Nowadays, you can just like study anything online. And like I said, this was pre-COVID. So I found the coaching program in London where where Louis had moved in. So that's how we got together. And I felt good. I was filling in my part. Because relationship is not like somebody brings 50% and the other one 50%.
That's so true.
It's 100 and 100, and then you're on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't filling in my part because my husband had sold his apartment and moved to London, and he was waiting for me for a year, and he was ready to break up with me. He actually tried.
Wow, he tried. It wasn't successful.
He tried. I didn't let him. So maybe that's also tied to the courage. I was like, no, our story is not finished. And because like I said, I was so overwhelmed. I wasn't making the big decisions to make the big changes in my life, to rent out my apartment, empty, to rent it out, move to London, change my career, leave my home country. There was a lot of things happening. So he was there waiting for me for a year, which, I mean, it's a long time. To me, it felt a short time in my head, in my struggle. And I guess I was being too comfortable for us to just like meet a lovely holiday vacations in Paris or Miami or Norway or wherever we met. And I was getting too comfortable in that. So that also takes courage to change the situation, whether it is in your life, in your relationship. For us, it was to close the gap of long distance, to move in together. So I moved in together with a man who was just breaking up with me. So I was like, let's say, shit scared. I was like so scared that I was like, no, now I finally have the plan. I have a study leave. I've signed up for this coaching program. I'm gonna come there next month. And he just didn't believe me. So there was a lot of convincing that I'm finally like showing my commitment to this relationship.
Good for you.
Oh my God, yes. So that was a lot. I would like to hear in the chat, like, what are you hearing? What can you take to your life,
Yes,
your situation.
absolutely.
Where do you want to have more courage? Which
Yeah.
area would it be? I mean, I hope you are here that you want to build more courage, because it's courage to lead. So
Right.
whether it is in your relationship, in your leadership, are you wanting to take next steps in your leadership? For me, it really was about committing not only to my vision of life and wanting to share it, but to co-create the vision. And like I said, to both of us to bring our whole selves to the relationship.
Yeah.
We have Greg tomorrow discussing more about this
Yes.
vision, and especially co-creating it with your spouse, partner, whoever you are with.
Yes. I love it.
I love the
I love
courage you
it.
take.
Yes.
Thank you, Sibi. Yes, just wanted to share this story, what inspired me to put together this event for you. Seek out the speakers, the experts in this field who can tell you more how to build the courage.
Yes.
And you'll hear more about Melissa's story, especially tomorrow, but also a little bit for today.
Well, before you go
But
into
yeah,
that too much, I want to say that, you know, when Kaisa was going through this, she didn't feel like she had courage. And I know this because I know Kaisa. And when she was telling me her story, when I first met her, I was like, oh my goodness, who are you? How, like, just to have the thought to figure out, okay, how do I make this work? Right? Like, this is like movie type stuff. When I met Kaisa, I was like, are you for real? Like, you are living your own fantasy, your own movie, and you had the courage to do what it had to take to get the person that you love, the person that you knew you wanted to be with. And you just said everything else will fall into place at some point. You didn't think you had courage at the time. The courage came later from other people telling you, that was pretty courageous. And you didn't even believe it for a while. Even when I told you that, and you had already been hearing this for a while, I think, even when I said that, I was like, Kaisa, that is so courageous. I'm amazed. And you were like, no, I just did what I had to do. And so, you know, when you're in the middle of it, it's not necessarily like, oh, you know, like, I'm just going to step into my courage now. I'm going to put on my cape and I'm just going to go for it. Right. Courage also means taking committed action, even when you're scared, even when you don't know how it's going to turn out, even when you don't know what's on the other side of that line that you're crossing. That's what courage really is. And that's what we hope to inspire in you during these 2 days when you're with us together. We just want to let you know that, you know what, people are out there doing it. You can too. Whatever it is that you're doing, whether you want to take that new career, you're not sure if it's for you, but you know it would be a blessing, or you're not sure if you're qualified, or whatever it is that is holding you back, go for it. Try it, do it. The only way you're going to find out if it's not for you is if you actually try it, right? It could be a business that you want to start. You know, there's something that's tugging at your heart. That's what it was for me. Something was absolutely tugging in my heart. And until I went for it, did I find out, oh, this is how you don't do it. And this is how you do it. You know, courage comes in a lot of different ways. And that's what we're hoping to inspire in here. And I just want to commend you, Kaisa, for being that courageous woman, for being a great example for a lot of women who, you know, they don't know what to do, or they may feel like they're very, very comfortable. Like you said, your culture. I remember one of the things you told me was your culture has a pretty defined way of how you were going to live your life, right? I mean, am I wrong in that?
Yeah, I mean, Finnish people are so modest and like not bragging about themselves. Like, our Finns here that can put in the chat if you disagree.
Yes.
But we even had campaigns a few years back, like brag for Finland, because You know, Finland has been nominated 5 times to be the happiest country in the world.
Wow.
So when that happened, I think it was 2017. Yeah, first time.
Sure.
Finnish people were like, what? There must be a miscalculation in this study.
Oh my goodness.
That we didn't believe it. The second
Right.
time it was like, okay, maybe. You know, now 5 times in a row being like really nominated the happiest country in the world. I mean, there must be something, but I
Right.
think we are starting to believe it now.
Oh, so funny.
So it's very easy to not give credit or be grateful of some things that you see that are just in your everyday life, let's say.
Right.
But yeah, I love how you pointed out that I heard from others like, oh my God, you're so courageous. Because like I shared with you, I was just seeing the fear, the uncertainty, because I wanted to control every part of the change.
Right. Right.
And yes, you can make plans, and we will help you guys here, especially who are in our VIP guests coming to the workshops after this.
Yes.
We help you to create the plans that you can actually take action on your vision.
Yes.
So for me, that I would have needed some help around that, but I guess I was just like so in my head, I didn't even know how to ask for help or think that I could ask for help, because I was just like, I mean, I've seen this so many times in my clients or in my friends that we just try to survive for a very long time. Let's take burnout for an example, that we're just like, yeah, I can. And people are very resilient, more than we think.
Yes.
But there's also a point when you can be like, oh, I could use some help.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. That is.
And that also can build the courage.
Yes.
When you have someone by your side, like I have Melissa here.
Well, absolutely. I mean, this has been an amazing experience in taking both of our businesses to a whole different level, because we kind of do have, not only, being a solopreneur can be a lonely journey, and you don't even realize it until you're in there. And sometimes when you're kind of in the weeds, as they say, you kind of think, okay, why am I doing this again? But when you have someone that you can kind of like lock arms with and say, okay, we're doing this together, and where are we at? And I mean, that can be amazing as well. And so community is huge when you are building something, but it doesn't have to be a business. It can be in life, just being a mom, you need community. Being a wife, you need community. You need someone to throw some ideas off of, not to gossip. I mean, we're not here to encourage, the negatives of it. The positives of it are having a community and knowing that when things get tough, someone else has been there as well, and helping you navigate those things that just happen in life. And I think one of the things that is happening right now with social media, or like with working from home, we tend to get isolated, and then we tend to look at other people's pictures and we think, oh, their life is so much better than mine. But those are all masks. We don't know what they're actually going through if we're not really communicating. And so having community, or having someone to just be there to support you and love on you and pour into you, and like pour positive things and uplifting things, that can be so powerful.
Yes, and not to compare. That would be another topic in and of itself. But yeah, what I like, if there was something that I wish I knew before everything, or let's say saying from experience to move from my home country to pivoting a new field. I studied to become a coach, and transitioned from the corporate world, from being employed to an entrepreneur. And also the changes in my relationship. Like I said, we were 2 years in long distance before we got to move together. That that change as well to move in with someone, and everything happening at the same time for me. So I would say, like, you know, it's good to do like a few changes. Sometimes it requires a lot of changes at the same time, and who can support you with that. But I mean, if I could have, I would have done maybe a little bit like one thing at a time and not everything at once. But
Hindsight is always
I learned a
20/20,
ton.
right?
I learned a ton.
Yes, learn from the people that have been there for sure. Wonderful. If you're just coming in, welcome, welcome. Let us know where you're from. We have people from all over the world today, and we are so excited that you're here, and we're so grateful for you taking the time out of your day to come and learn about courage. And also, if you have a second, let us know what area of your life you would like more courage in. We are going to read those chats, and we are going to make sure that we are covering whatever question you may have as well, if we can during the summit, and if not, you know, afterwards, maybe we'll send you an email, or maybe we'll send you a message. Whatever it is, we are here to serve you. We are here for you. This show is for you. So as Kaisa was saying, with the workshop and with the master class that we have after, this is us helping you, you know, get through it, get to that next level, helping you really implement what you learn in here. And excuse me, I don't know what's going on with my voice today. Helping you actually put into action whatever it is that you're taking from here. So if you haven't signed up for VIP, we'll put that up in the chat here pretty shortly. And if you have any questions throughout, please let us know. We are reading those questions as we are going through the show. And in just a few minutes, we'll also put in the rest of the people, the speakers that are coming in, and their subject, what they're coming in about. Kaisa, before we go into our next guest speaker, any words of wisdom to close it out?
Oh, wow. I don't know, so many. So if I would choose, like, let's say the three top three, everything comes at three. Three is that trust your intuition. I've made my best decisions based on intuition in my life. It's sometimes hard to maybe trust and follow the intuition, but for me, it has been life-changing. Like I said, best decisions based off of that. Like, what do you really feel? I think intuition is built in us for a reason, and I've built the courage to follow it. I would say.
Love it.
And yeah, secondly, I kind of like what you said also, to surround yourself with others, because alone is like so easy to be in your head, see the fears, the worries, like not maybe see the whole big picture. So who are the friends that can give you also feedback? Because when you talk out loud, like let's say that we would just have had this conversation with Melissa, I hear myself differently when I talk my worries or my vision out loud. So it shapes out, and I hear it in a different way, and then I can also ask for feedback.
For sure.
So I would say those. And well, for me, being a coach, I also need a coach.
Yeah.
So I would suggest there is a place to ask for help from family and friends, but to have a coach or mentor who's like ahead of you, who's experienced, who can really guide you in an objective way. There's no drama in the relationship. There's no, like, they are there to push you, gently challenge you. So that's especially what I need, and what I'm enjoyed in the coaching program where we met, that I saw this person like, oh, I want to go to this direction, and she will help me get there.
Perfect.
So I would say to get a coach or mentor, because they will, like I said, lovingly, with compassion, to really help you push forward over those fears and to really build that courage, whatever it is that you want to do.
Perfect. That was beautiful. That's so wonderful. Thank you so much for your words of wisdom, Kaisa.